Happy October 4th, everyone. So I've already done the sketch for today's prompt. Sorry. It's going to be midnight, and I actually did find a really big Sharpie downstairs, so I'm glad that I will get to use that instead of the smaller brush I was using 2 days ago. And I also found a red Sharpie, so I'm going to decide if I want to make the eyes or the moon red. I'm still debating on that. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm not sure if you can ever tell in the lighting of my videos, but I tend to do them, oh no, it's dry! Oh no. I guess I will have to look for a different Sharpie. I guess I'll go ahead and do the outer edges and the top of this piece. As I was saying, I didn't know if you guys could tell or not, but I'm recording this video a lot earlier than I normally record my videos, simply because Thursdays is the day that I don't have classes, and so I work 8 hours in the morning, 4 to 12 if you're wondering, and then, yeah, that's all black, and then I come home, I take a nap, and then I get to work on schoolwork and have a free day, basically, which is really, really nice this time of year. Especially when I don't really have a lot of time to work on my YouTube channel and stuff. On Thursdays, I do have that time, which is why earlier, a few videos in my update video, I said I would try to post on Thursdays, is because that's the day that I have, that's too square, it's still too square, I have the time to sit down and make good content and just kind of not worry so much about schoolwork and about everything happening in life, you know. This is boring, so I'm going to talk about something. So, Inktober has started, which is interesting. I've been talking about that for the last 3 videos. These are pine trees, if you care to know. They're the trees that are around where I live. They're everywhere, actually. But if you, there's more south you go, in America at least, the trees, they get weird. Does that make sense? The trees up here, they have branches that go all the way down to the bottom, but down in, what state do they get weird? I think they get weird in Tennessee, but they might get weird as in Georgia, as far south as Georgia. But they lose that and they just become top of the trees, and the rest is just the trunk. It doesn't have any branches on it. And I didn't notice that until my boyfriend and I took a trip down to Florida this last, when was that? December, so almost a year ago now. We went to Disney World. It was a fun trip. Anyway, and he pointed them out to me. He was like, "What is with the trees? They look weird." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I paid more attention to them, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, they're just like trunks." Oh my gosh, did my pen run out of ink too? I am having an art disaster today. But yeah, so that was really interesting. This is my channel, but I don't often really talk about personal things a lot, so I guess I could do that if you want to know a little bit about me. So, right now I'm in college in Ohio. I'm a commuter, so I currently live in Indiana, and then I commute to Ohio, which may sound far, but it's not. It's about, oh dear, it's about a 45-minute drive And it's the same school that my mom went to, and the same school her mom went to. So I will be a third generation alumni when I graduate, which I think is going to be really cool. I'm currently working, I don't know if I want to say where I work. I'm currently working, I might have already said where I work. Well, I work at a very well-known supermarket, grocery store kind of place. That was supposed to be black, dang it. No, wait, that's fine. I did good, sorry. And I do things with their ordering online. I don't know how vague I can be. Anyway, and that's the job that I worked this morning. I work anywhere from 16 to 25 hours a week. And I do school full time, so I'm taking 18 credit hours. This semester I made Dean's List last semester, and I'm hoping to make it again. I am enrolled in the honors program, so I'm taking honors classes. Right now I'm taking organic chemistry, professionalism, physics, calculus, and evolution, and it's called honors experience. There's like another experiential learning. Can you see that real quick? Okay, yes. I'm gonna move it over then. Experiential learning that we have to do. My school is Catholic, which has been a little bit of a difficult time with our new founded LGBTQ plus community. We have a club for them, but the school isn't letting them name their club after the school. Oh gosh, how can I be vague about this? For instance, some schools have the name of their clubs, like the name of the school and the club. For instance, if your school is like the Tigers, right, it'll be like Tigers football or something like that, right? But our school is not allowing the LGBTQ plus club to have anything about the school in the name of the club, which is upsetting to say the least. And so a friend of mine who's president of the club was talking to everyone she could about how to get like what names they could use and like stuff like that, because it's not like the club won't appear on academics or extracurricular lists at the school. Like, it's gonna be there, so I don't know why they like still hesitate with it. They like allowed it to exist, so they should just allow it to be named what it is. And people were saying it's because my school was founded by nuns, and we still have a lot of nuns on campus, and they were like, oh, well, the nuns, they're the ones that said, no, don't do this. But we talked to the dean about it, and he's a really, really, really great guy. And he was like, that sounds really fishy. And we were like, what? He's like, yeah, I don't believe that. So he went to, like, I don't know how to call it, but like the main branch that does all the decisions for the nuns, and was basically like, hey, we saw you denied this name request, or you're wondering why. And they said, what are you talking about? We didn't deny the name request, we loved it. And so it appears that that struggle is happening deeper inside the corporation, and it's not about our religious affiliation. Sorry, I just know a lot about the struggles of what's happening at school right now because my friend is really deeply involved in it. And so, yeah, that's been something that's been a little difficult for my school to be dealing with this year. But we have had like a lot of good things happening. around school, we do a lot of recycling stuff. We do a lot of work with charities. And why am I talking up my school when you don't even know the name of it? I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just talking about it, I guess. But yeah, the school I go to, I really like it. It wasn't my first choice, it was my second. Yeah, maybe I should tell you just a little bit more about me. So I want to be a biological researcher, I think. Something to do with disease research. My boyfriend has Crohn's, so I'd really like to help him with that somehow, or contribute to cancer research or something like that. I'm just making sure you can still see this. So, I wanted to go to, what's it called, Sandra? What's the school that you really badly wanted to go to? Notre Dame, which is in North Bend, which is at, it's really north in Indiana. And, I didn't get accepted, which is basically why I didn't go. But I really, really liked that school. It was really expensive. Right now I'm paying my own way in school. I think I talked about that before. Right now I'm debt-free, and I have no student loans, no nothing. I'm really fortunate to be in a position where I can do that. So I think that it's for the better that I didn't go to Notre Dame, simply because I think I'd be worse off financially once I graduated. I think that to be what I want to be, I have to go to medical school, and I kind of really don't want to. Part of the reason is because I feel like I won't be able to pay tuition there, and so all this work I've been doing will kind of be for naught, because I'll end up getting in debt anyway. And I really, really don't want to get in debt, at all. Very bad, and I don't want it. But, alright, so since that marker was dry, I guess I'm going to go and look for another Sharpie, and I will be right back. And we're back. I found a Sharpie in my school bag, so I'm grateful for that. I know it'll probably bleed onto the other side of the paper, but that's not really what I'm worried about. So there was, I don't even remember what I was talking about. School, I guess. My life. I'll talk more about myself, I guess. I don't know. Is that what you guys want? Should I color in these clouds? I'm gonna wait and I'll do the forest first. Anyway. So, I'm currently working... Oh wait, did my job end yet? No, I don't think my other job ended yet. So I'm currently working 4 jobs. And no, YouTube is not a job for me, by the way, if you can't tell. But, oh gosh, I want to turn this, but I don't want to make it weird for you guys. Is that okay? Is it okay if I turn it? Sorry. Anyway, I'm currently working 4 jobs. I work at the supermarket grocery store, like I said. That is my main job. I also do pet sitting about twice a month, maybe, for a close family friend. Well, I don't know if we're family friends, but someone that my mom knows really well. I have a part-time, I have a seasonal position reffing soccer, which the tournaments have happened, but I'm also reffing the 3v3, which is in a couple of weekends, and when that ends, then I will be done with that job. And I can decide if I want a seasonal position at, oh, will that give away where I live? At another seasonal place open during the winter, or not. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be so weird about where I live, but I know that it has kind of ruined people's lives. People knowing where they live, so I just want to not give that opportunity. Not that any of you guys would ever come to my house for no reason, uninvited, like scoundrels or something. I don't know. Yeah, and I'm also, I guess you could call it like a social worker. I do work with mentally handicapped children. I help them complete assignments for school, or I help them be open about their feelings, and if they need something, I like help them with it. I get them out of the house, so I take them places, and yeah, that kind of stuff. I have one main one that a girl that I work with now, and we're really, really good friends. I love her so much. And yeah, what else do I do? But that's a state job, so it's actually like paid for by the government. It's like a something that's, I don't want to say it's offered, but it's kind of like a program, I guess, a government program maybe. I don't know how to describe it, but is that 4? Yeah, I talked about all of them. When I don't know, I've always held multiple jobs, I think. Not because I'm so scared with money, even though I'm paying college tuition right now, so I'm a little bit, even though I have my payment for December, but I have a strong work ethic, I guess, and so when I'm not working, I almost feel like I'm not doing anything with my life. Does that make sense? Do any of you have that, where you're like, what am I just sitting around for? I could be doing something. But I often tend to, like, when I say that, doing something, like, I don't know, it's almost like doing something has to be for someone else. Like, me time doesn't count as doing anything. Like, I don't see that as, like, doing something. I see that as kind of, like, not wasted time, but, like non-productive time, you know? Can you still see that? Sorry, I'm just, like, worried. Yeah. So, I am rambling so much, which is why I like to work a lot, just because, like, it actually, like, not physically, but, like, mentally gives me something, I guess. Like, in my main job at the grocery store, I do the online stuff, right? So I go around and I collect groceries for people, and when someone is like, oh, where is this item, or where is this item, and I, like, get to tell them, like, that just, like, makes me feel really good that I'm, like, be able to help someone in that. I don't know, it's a dumb way to help someone, I guess, but, like, sometimes people get really angry and frustrated. They're like, I can't find this thing, and I think I like it more, this is gonna sound weird, I like it more when it's men that ask, because they tend to be the ones who are like, oh, I'll figure it out myself, or blah, blah, blah. And so when they feel comfortable, or when they I don't want to say sunk low, but when they realize that they need help and they ask for it, like, I love being the person able to give it to them. Is that a weird thing to say? I love being able to be like, yes, I know where that thing is. Yes, I will do whatever I can to help you, you know? Like, I really, really enjoy that. Does that make sense? Does that make any sense at all? I don't know. I just really like that. Like, everything about that. I'm still debating what I'm doing with the bottom. I think maybe I should go black all the way down and then have it, like, I was thinking about having it, like, fan out at the edges, but, like, I'm not sure what I want to do. Something like this. Anyway, oh man, that smell is so strong. Anyone who works with Sharpies regularly, I'm sure knows that. But yeah, working like in an environment like that, just like, I don't know, I really like it. And I know I'm not like doing anything crazy, like I'm just helping an old guy find his groceries or whatever, but like it really does make me happy. I haven't talked about past job experiences on this channel, I don't think, so I'll talk about them now. I don't know why this turned into a job interview, but that's what it is now. So if you want, you can just mute me and play some music and watch me draw, or you can just, you know, skip to the end and see the final product, I guess. But like, I don't know, I like watching how it became what it is. Anyway, I don't know how this changed into a job interview, but it is now, so let's do it. Is that supposed to be black? I think it is. So I used to be a waitress at a restaurant that was also a store. I don't want to. Oh, James dubbed Subway, so maybe I can like. I worked at. I think I did tell you where I work at my supermarket actually. I work at Roger, K. Roger. Anyway, I worked at Chip Barrel. Is that not subtle enough? I worked at the Chip Barrel. And I hated it. I worked at Chip Barrel for like 6 months, and I would make a decent amount of money. Obviously, not obviously. In America, waitresses and waiters, they don't get paid the same hourly rate. I think I got paid $4.25 an hour, and that's because we also get tip. So I don't know. They decided that we didn't get paid enough, or we didn't get paid the full amount because of that. Because no one else in the kitchen like gets tips, you know. Despite that, I actually made a lot of money there. However, I hated it, as I said. Hold on. I'm thinking I'm going to run out of storage on my camera, so I am going to pause and I will be back. Anyway, so I made a lot of money there, but I hated it. And one of the reasons I hated it was I never felt appreciated by anyone. So the managers, they were quite mean. I also didn't like having to work every holiday. For some reason, I don't know if it's just at the Chip Barrel or if it's at other restaurants too, but we had to work Thanksgiving. Like, we had to have a shift on Christmas. And, like, I understand that people are going to schedule off and try to get off and stuff, and you just can't have all these people not be there at once. Like, I get it. But you had to have a shift. Or actually, I think Christmas is the one day we're closed, but Christmas Eve you had to have a shift. Anyway, but that was just a lot for me. Because obviously when you sign the papers in the fine print, of course, it says you have to work every holiday. And that wouldn't normally be a deal breaker for me. It is really sad, don't get me wrong, to have to work like a 12-hour shift on Christmas Eve, because that's a day that I often spend with my grandparents. And then Christmas is like for my family, like more intermediate family. At least that's who my intermediate family is. And so it was really sad for me not to be there for that like moment. And I was like, is working here worth not seeing my grandparents on Christmas Eve, you know. And so that struck me. And then me and my significant other, Samuel, we were going to go to Florida, right? I just talked about that a few minutes ago, I think. And we were planning on leaving on Christmas. We would spend the morning with our parents, and then we were going to leave that night. And I had put so much into this freaking trip. And they said, when are you going to be gone until, basically? And I was like, oh, the 4th of the new year. And they said, well, how are you going to work New Year's Day and New Year's Eve? 2 holidays back to back that I would be missing. Despite putting in my request really early in advance, I didn't have seniority over anything. I was late maybe 3 times in the 6 months that I worked there. I'd never called off, I don't think. And I knew, deep down, really knew, that they were not going to give me that time off. And then that reflects bad because I cannot show up. I'm in Florida. Like, I'm not here. So I quit. I said I'm sick of not being respected by the management and by just the people I serve in general. And I'm just really tired of hating working. You know, when you dread going somewhere that you have to go for multiple hours every day, it just wears on you, like, really badly. I don't want to smudge this. And so it was a big decision for me because I'd never really quit a job before. I had seasonal jobs. I was a quantity tasseler. Oh, I know. Horrible, by the way. Never, ever do it. Not worth anything. But someone does have to do it, you know. So, but not for me. That's definitely not for me. However, they let you work when you were younger, and so that was the first job I ever had because they let me work when I was 13, I think. So that was, like, really big on me because everything is like, be 16, and I really wanted a job just because, I don't know, I've always been that way. We're like, I need a job. So, yep, I did quarantine tasseling, and that was a seasonal job. And then I started soccer reffing, and that was a seasonal job. This is weird, but I did a little bit of modeling work, but that was over a weekend, so I wasn't really employed. It was kind of like just work that I did for the weekend. I got paid for it, don't get me wrong, but it was like private work. It was like under the table pay, you know, not like a company or anything. And so I did that. Obviously I did the normal stuff, like I babysitted. I was a babysitter for a little while, but I hate children. So that I just really didn't find that passion in that. So I only did that for a little bit. And then I had my first real-time, part-time job. Oh gosh, how old was I when I started that job? I don't even remember. 2014, maybe? How old was I in 2014? 15. Yeah, I think I was 15, just about to turn. I couldn't have been just about to turn, but maybe a few months away from turning 16. Because my birthday's in April. And so, is that right? Is that math right? I think that math's right. Forgive me if it's wrong. I'm in calculus, I promise. But it's actually a crazy story. Why not tell it now? It's not actually all that crazy. So my sister had applied for a job at a local Mexican restaurant, and she took Spanish in high school. I took Japanese and then a little bit of French later in high school, but she took Spanish. So she applied for this Mexican restaurant, and then she left for the army. And it was Thanksgiving Day. Was it Thanksgiving Day? Yeah, I think so, because we were over at a friend's house, and I don't know why we would be there unless it was, like, something for that. Anyway, it was, like, some kind of day. And I was 15, and my mom calls me. And I'm like, hey, Mom, what's up? She's like, do you want a job? I was like, yes, I want a job. I very much want a job. Very much want. And she said, you should call this guy. He called the house looking for you. Or actually, he called the house looking for your sister, but obviously she can't come, right? So, I think I actually just went in. I don't think I called him. I went in and was like, hi, I'm not the person that submitted the application. That was my older sister. But if you want me, then you got me, basically. And he asked me about my availability. Since I was 15 at the time, I had one club on a Wednesday. Oh, wait, when did I do color guard? No, that was freshman year. Wait, when was freshman year? Whatever. When did I graduate? Yeah. But, I did color guard, but I think that had already ended. And so I was like, oh, I have a pretty open availability. And he said, great, I'm hiring you. And I worked there for 2 years. I learned quite a bit of Spanish. I speak a little bit of it, but I mostly know, like, bad words and restaurant terms, so nothing too exciting, really. But actually, my brother works at there now. He started working there once I had left. I took a break. When I went to Japan, I was still working there, and so I took a leave of absence for, like, 10 months, and then came back and worked there for a little longer, but I quit shortly after that, just because I don't want to get too much into everything, but it wasn't the atmosphere for me, basically. So I moved to a different restaurant, which was Chip Barrel, and I was not into it. And so that's where I am now. I tried to become a model, and I think it, like, could really work out to be something, but the company that tried to hire me, I think, was more like a sham. So yeah, needless to say, I did not follow through with that because I was thinking they were pretty sketchy. No offense to you, company that shall not be named. But yeah, I actually got pulled over at the mall with this lady at a booth, and she was like, I'm trying to hire models, and you're pretty. Please sign this thing and give me your email address and whatnot so we can talk to you. And I was like, oh, heck, oh yeah. Who doesn't want to be like a model, you know? But that was really not good for my mental health, especially with my history. So, yeah, I stopped that shortly after it started. But that's a story for another time because, like I've done my 2 exchange stories before, that's definitely going to be like a let me draw this out for you type video. Because it was a crazy time. Sorry, I'm so boring. Just talking about my work experience. I think this is taking me a lot longer than I thought it would, so I guess it's good that I started it early. I don't want to bore you guys just by showing you me coloring this in. So, just like 2 days ago, I think I'm going to come back when this forest is covered in. Thanks for listening to my rambling. And we're back. First off, I'm sorry for how long this video is going to be, but it's probably going to be quite a bit. longer than I had anticipated. So, as you can see, I've done quite a bit. I've finished all the trees, and I filled in the lake and the eyes, and just, I'm actually like really close to being done now, which is good because it's about to be my bedtime. Not that I actually have one, but I do have a time that I like to go to bed every night, and I'm not gonna say it because people will call me out on whatever. I don't know, people judge and they don't need to judge me. I know how much sleep I need a night, and I get it. It makes me a healthy person. I'm thinking about just doing crotch hatching on this moon, because there's so much, like, darkness in this picture already. And so I'm just gonna do, like... Oh, wait, this pen died. I forgot about that. Whoops. He's doing pretty well for a dying pen, though. He, like, still did the outline and stuff, but... I think this was definitely the way to go with this. There we go. Wow, look at that. Okay. I really like the way this one turned out. It took me quite a bit longer. As you know, I don't normally record such long videos. But thank you all for sticking with me. I hope you have, oh, is it the 4th? Yep. A good night, and I will see you tomorrow.